real quick, and then I'd be in here. And so I go out and I'm like, all right, gonna eat this, and then I'm gonna go record. I tell the kids, like, good night, blah, 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 all the good night stuff. And my wife comes in and she goes, come with me real quick. And I'm like, okay.
Come with me if you want to live.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, what's happening? Because, for those of you, if we use this, I don't know, we'll probably use this. Fuck it. If we use this, for those of you that don't know, we came home and like 3 of our chickens were just fucking killed. Like, I feel like the guy from CSI. I'm like walking in the backyard, like, what if this happened? But anyway, my wife heard like 2 cats like rustling around and they ran away. And I was like, were they cats? What were they? And she's like, well, they were like bigger cats. I was like, well, they ran away from you, so that's good. But there's 2 of them? And I just think it's like, I don't know, it's coincidental that like the day that we have cats or fucking chickens dead in my yard, that there's cats out back there. That never happens. But anyway, here I am. This is episode 5 of Damn That's Podcasting. And we've done this 5 times. 5 times. 5 times. 5 times. 5 times? Did I do that right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
I've not done it 25 times.
Just like Booker T, baby.
Just like the Booker T, man. So today's Father's Day in real life. You'll be listening to this on Wednesday. So hopefully all you dads out there, hope you had a good Father's Day. I had a great one until I came back and a bunch of chickens were dead.
Is that pina colada seltzer?
This is coconut pineapple seltzer.
So pina colada.
Yeah, I'm not caught in the rain though, so that's cool.
I was making
I'm not going to go on with
making love in the rain.
That's what I was going to say.
Wait, what?
Yeah, if you like pina coladas and making love in the rain.
No.
If you like making love at moonlight?
Hold on.
Moonshine?
Hold
on.
You
like drinking moonshine?
Wait. The lyrics are not if you like pina coladas and getting caught in the rain?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay. Holy shit.
I said making love in the rain. I got that wrong.
For a minute there, I thought it was one of those like lyric moments where your entire life you thought they were saying something else and they weren't.
No.
Okay, so it's getting caught in the rain. So I've been singing it right the whole time my entire life.
If you like making love at midnight in the dunes of the Cape.
Oh, yeah.
Which is where I went with it.
I do that all the time, and my wife always makes fun of me because we'll be singing like a song in the car, and I'll add lyrics, and she'll be like, "What did you just say?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, that." And she's like, "That's not what they say."
I feel
and I'm like, "Oh," and then she tells me what they say, and it's not as cool. Like, oh, let me see if I can find what we were talking about today when we were just driving. While Micah introduces the podcast.
Well, I feel like we had a whole car ride where we made up lyrics to songs back in the old Let's Wrestle days.
Oh, we did that for fun.
Yeah.
Like I used to sit at bars and do that, but when we were driving, we do that too. And you make up like Rihanna's Umbrella. I used to say stuff I'm not going to say because keep it even cleaner than it needs to be.
Well, while you're looking that up. This is episode. Oh, he found it. Okay, episode 5.
Go ahead.
I'm Owen Brody. Yeah. We got Murdock. We got Kurt. And Murdock, what you got?
Yo.
Well, today is a prime example. So we were listening to doo-wop hits, right?
Wow. Okay.
If you don't know what that is, it's from the 50s.
Yeah.
But
doo-wop.
You know the song like.
Your microphone cut out completely because
I'll just do it like this. Ready? Like. Bopper ran. He'll take my hand. Did you know it's Barbara Ann?
Yeah.
No, I did today.
Exactly. That's what I did. I go, oh my God. And I saw it pop up on my screen in the car. And I was like, it's Barbara Ann is what he's saying. I thought he said Bopper ran.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause that makes more sense.
Yeah, Bopper Ann.
Well, it does because she goes, take my hand. So what? She's like, what's a Bopper Ann?
Right.
It's like, yeah, I guess that makes more sense to say Barbara Ann, take my hand. Because, I mean, nowadays, no one's name is going to be Barbara Ann. And if anybody's name is that out there, I'm sorry.
Sorry,
But,
Barbara Ann.
Yeah, I can't think of any other examples, but there's been a lot of songs where I say stuff and it is not what it actually is. So
That is, hold on, I'm sorry, I'm fucking with my shit. It's been a
fucking with his
day.
shit.
It's been a day. Dead birds in my yard, not expected.
Your what? Wow.
There
Your
were-
hat is backwards.
No, I know. I'm fucking everything up tonight, but that's fine.
Everybody knows he's Tatooine Hat Boy. So.
Yeah, I got to keep it going. Actually, I saw a picture and someone else had a Tatooine hat, and I'm like, well, now fuck it, I got to get rid of this thing.
But were they a boy?
Yep.
I think you got to keep it.
Well,
It's going to
were
be like
they-
episode 20, and you'll finally turn the hat around and be like, he gets it.
Yeah.
Was he? But was he the boy? The Tatooine Hat Boy?
No,
I don't
I'm the
think so.
OG. He's like the copycat.
Speaking of OG for the video watchers and
Yeah.
the listeners out there, Kurt is representing the Syndicate shirt right now.
I see that. It's fantastic.
Yeah, pretty cool. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Kurt.
you for supporting my semi-wrestling life sometimes.
Of course, I got it for free.
Yeah,
Owen
semi-charmed
Brody.
kind of wrestling life.
Well, you didn't get it for free. You went to the show.
Why is this not focusing anymore?
I focus this, see?
There
I
you
think
go.
it's too dark in your room.
Maybe.
You want me to? Fine, I'll turn up the lights if it's what you want.
Turn it up.
So, okay, back to the lyrics thing, though, because I was thinking about this the other day, because I was like, man, I wonder how many other songs people got the lyrics wrong for. So, like, but when I was a kid, like, is generally when it happens. So, like, there's, my parents listened to a lot of, like, country and classic rock, which is now classic rock, but I guess it might have been current rock then?
Probably not.
Well, I mean, it was like Aerosmith, right? So, Train Kept a Rollin' by Aerosmith. You guys heard that song?
Maybe.
So it's like Train Kept a Rollin' all night long,
Oh, yes.
I always thought that it was Drink Macaroni all night long. So now when you listen to it, you're going to hear Drink Macaroni all night long. And I was like, why are they drinking
probably will.
macaroni? But as a kid, I was like, these are lyrics, man. Let's go.
You're like, I love this band. They drink macaroni all night long.
I mean, they might actually have drank macaroni at some point or other. Who knows?
That's why Steven Tyler looks like the way he does.
Yeah. It's very possible. I'm going to move this slightly.
He is kind of scary looking.
Ooh, I made so many noises. He is scary looking for sure.
But they do put on a great performance. I saw Aerosmith in concert last year. So.
I saw Aerosmith the night before. Wait, I'm trying to think. So it was the night before my driving test, and I didn't get my license until I turned 18. So it might have been the night before I turned 18. Either way, I saw Aerosmith, Run DMC, and Kid Rock, and it was awesome.
Kid Rock seems out of sorts for that.
No, man, that was the time that they were doing Walk This Way together at like the Grammys or whatever it was. MTV Music Awards, maybe?
Okay, that tracks.
Now, if it was like Run DMC, the Spice Girls, and Aerosmith, then we just resurrected the Spice Girls, by the way.
With special guest Trash Monster.
Yeah, the Trash Monster was just there. Like, I was going to say in the pit, but there wasn't really like a pit, so to speak.
So before we get too far from the lyrics, like, those commercials for deodorant Venus?
Yeah.
Do you know the lyrics to that song?
You mean like I'm your Venus, I'm your fire?
What's the next part?
So desire?
From your desire?
Yeah, from your desire?
I think it's at your desire.
At your desire. We were close. We're in the ballpark. We're in the Desire ballpark. It was Desire Stadium.
There was a show on TV that was like Finish the Lyric. I think that was actually the name of it. It was like a game show for it. And it got to like that exact song. And I was like doing great. I was like, I know all of this. And then I got to that and I was like, don't know.
I picture you sitting there watching the show and it gets to that song and you just inch forward in your seat and you're like, we're going to figure this out. We're going to solve something that's been eating at me for years. Let's go.
You're like, is it their desire or is it from their desire? And is it really their Venus?
No, it's their Mercury.
Yeah.
Also, there was that song, you know, that song. I'm not gonna be
You're
able
doing
to
great.
remember.
We
Yeah,
keep the
as
streak
Zinx,
going. We keep the
when I
streak going where we can't figure out the names of things
Yeah, you guys know that thing with this thing?
named after that thing.
well, I I just can't. It's things being put on the spot like this sometimes because I'm like, there's so many songs that I have messed up.
I'm gonna
Oh,
back
here's
up a little bit. Nobody put you on the spot.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
put yourself on the spot.
yeah.
well, yeah, but then I was in my head. I'm like, I'll think of other ones, and then I'm like, yeah, here's this Barbara Ann, and that's all I got. Another one because it's one of my favorite songs, Phil Collins.
In the air
I
tonight.
used to be like, no, I used to be like studio. Yeah, he's in a studio, but that's not what it is. It's studio.
Yeah, we talked about that in the car, I believe, one time, because that
I
was
think
on
so.
the Syndicate playlist.
It was.
Yep.
My wife tells me I listen to the same songs over and over and over and over again.
Bro,
I
that
do
was
too.
me. That was me. Like last night on the ride home from Newburyport, I listened to Something to Wrestle podcast, and then that got over, and I still had like 20 minutes left of my drive. So I was like, oh man, let's listen to old 50 Cent. And I listened to Heat like 3 times, which was awesome.
The first 50 Cent album was great.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember Summertime. I know I'm changing the subject now, but Summertime in like 2004. I think I was just about to graduate, and went to Sumner, Maine. Can look it up on a map. There's really nothing there. My friend had his dad's like camp, which was really just like a mobile home that was there.
Wasn't that
But
everybody's dad's camp?
maybe, but this was just like a trailer. But it was like, you know how like someone says, "I'll live in a trailer," and you're like, "Ooh, I don't know," but then you see it and you're like, "Oh, this is like a house. Like,
Yeah.
this is a really nice one." That's what it was. It was like a brand new like mobile home. But we weren't allowed. That was the thing. We weren't. Well, I guess I'll break the news. We weren't allowed to be in it.
Oh,
But sometimes we'd go in it. But then he had a giant like front, like a ton of land in the front of the house. And so what we did was we camped there for like our senior trip or something. But anyway, we did that, and I just remember that I think that CD had just come out, and we were just listening to that like the entire weekend that we were there. And I just remember being like, "Who's this 50 Cent guy? I've never
wow.
heard of this stuff." And then my friend was like, "Oh yeah, he's got a ton of albums like underground." And I'm like, "What does that mean? Is he
Your
like
friend was a
under the
Kool-Aid
ground?"
man?
Yeah, he's like, "Hey everybody,
Oh yeah.
oh yeah, I'll jump through this wall and listen to 50 Cent." But like I didn't understand that stuff when I was younger. Like underground, he had other albums come out that
Yeah.
like
Like that
yeah,
wasn't a
like
thing when we were kids. Like we didn't think about like, oh, they had albums before this. Like their debut album, like that was the first shit they put together in my world.
yeah, and it was I remember listening to that so much. It was so good. I still listen to it all the time now.
Yeah.
Because I think it's a good
Solid
it's a good
album.
album. Here's something I'll bring up that also came up in conversation recently with a spat I had with a random person on Twitter.
Ooh.
What band do you think is overrated in history? I'll tell you
Oh,
what happened with me. I said the Beatles, which Kurt's shaking his head because I know he's a big fan, but like here's what I look at. Like I can't deny that the Beatles sold a ton of albums and like pretty much restarted all band stuff, like started all band stuff like in history, right? So I respect all that. But never once have I been at a party or a get together and someone's like, "I want to play some music." I'm like, "Yeah, what do you want to play?" And they're like, "The Beatles." And no one ever is like, "Let's put the Beatles on." I've never had that happen before to listen to music.
but
So
to that point though, was there a current like if you were to pull up the Billboard charts at that point in time, was there like a current Beatles album that was like on that chart? Because I feel like that's like the party music is like whatever's like current, you know? Like it's not like, oh, let's listen to this thing. Because I feel like by the time we came to the age of like going to parties and listening to music and stuff like that, like the Beatles were like a niche thing. It was like you either liked them or like, eh.
and I kind of feel like they are like that. Like I don't like them. There's maybe
Yeah,
like one or two songs that I would be okay with. If I hear "Hey Jude," I'll just kill myself.
that's
So
not good.
I don't. Well, not really. Sorry. PSA for suicide. I obviously wouldn't do that. But I'm saying like I don't want to listen to "Hey Jude." I hear it
Yeah.
way too much, and it's just a boring song. But um, didn't they write like "She's Got a Ticket to Ride"?
Ticket to Ride.
See, I would listen to that. That's a pretty decent
That
song.
is such a random song to pull out of the entire discography.
So, but you got to look at the overall impact, though, right? Like they were like universally like a huge sensation. Like it
For
was
some,
insane.
yeah.
But they
a
also,
lot of people like them. I know.
They also came out at a time of like television being like in its boom period, right? Like they were on, what was it, the Ed Sullivan Show was like their big break, and like that, I feel like they had a lot to do with. Here's the thing: if the Beatles didn't blow it out of the water on the Ed Sullivan Show, like would music on, night shows like be a thing? Would the Roots band be playing at Jimmy Fallon? Like who knows, right? So I feel like
I'm not discrediting their impact. I just kind of feel like they're talked about a lot. So I don't think they're that good, and that's just.
But what makes them?
Just my opinion.
What makes them overrated though? If they left an impact, I guess is like what I'm like. If they're saying, "Oh, they're the best band in the world," that's debatable, but that's also subjective. I'm playing devil's advocate really good here.
I'm gonna sneeze really hard here, so I apologize. Now I lost it when I was talking.
Thank you.
Big old grandpa sneeze.
It was gonna be bad, but it didn't happen. What are you drinking, Adam? Before.
Oh, if we want to plug some stuff, it's Whistle Pig Piggyback Barrel Aged Blackberry Lemon Fizz.
Is there more to that title?
Alcohol. I don't know. I'm trying to see. I mean, if I read the whole thing, it's Whistle Pig Piggyback Barrel Aged Small Batch Rye Smash Farm to Can Blackberry Lemon Fizz.
To can. Are they? Is the whistle sound from the pig pissing into the can? Is that how this happens?
Maybe.
It just shows a picture of a pig that looks like a gangster with a hat on.
Okay,
anyway, it's supposed to be like whiskey that's already made.
But where's that
blackberry and lemon fizz?
Where's that brewed from? Because I feel like there's a Whistle Pig around here.
Is there? I don't know. Let me see.
Is Whistle Pig
handcrafted? Where is it bottled? Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want me to say where you're from? It says it is made in Vermont.
Oh, that's near me.
You may live there.
I'm in Vermont.
Wow, that's crazy.
Because here's the thing: there used to be this barbecue place, and I feel like it was renamed the Whistle Pig or something. There's this guy. He's his name's Rocket. Like I don't know if that's his real name, but I met him at like
Raccoon.
Yeah, I met him at like this thing, and he does like food, like blogging kind of stuff. Rocket in VT is like his Instagram, right? So he does a lot of stuff, and I feel like that's where it came up in the conversation of like, oh no, that's the Whistle Pig now, and I'm like, oh really? I feel like that's the time, but yeah, that's cool though. Small world, I guess. You're drinking cans from my area.
This Rocket guy, has he ever shown up and been like, I'm a guardian of the galaxy?
He did. He said, I do guard the galaxy. Some people, depending on their age, think I'm part of a league, and I'm not. But I do guard the galaxy.
I heard you're part of a league.
A league of extraordinary gentlemen?
That's exactly right.
I knew it.
Isn't that sad, Kurt, that he could literally finish what he knew I was going to say?
There are so many times where we text something at like the same timestamp and it's the same thing and it's so fucking random. And then we're just like,
does that with me. Kurt does that a lot too.
Oh, and that's why we're all here. Thank you.
You complete me.
That was episode 5, guys. Thanks for listening.
When we were spoiler alert. I almost said that wrong.
Ooh.
So we all bought Diablo, obviously. We talked about
that's
Diablo
not a spoiler. We're going to talk about that.
Back to video games.
No, because I need to go back to the Beatles thing because I'm not going to let you.
Nope. We're going to keep it. That's how we're going. I put a bow on it. Overrated.
Nope. It's Paul McCartney's birthday, first of all.
Ooh.
I'm sorry. R.I.P. Paul McCartney.
All right, Paul.
He's alive.
Yeah, he's alive. He's the Beatles still alive. Summer.
I think I don't want to use the term overrated then. We'll just keep it. They're not overrated. I just don't like them and I don't like their music.
They're not your cup of tea.
Even though I say things like I'm British, doesn't mean that I need to like them.
So before, I'm just going to try to smush this all together. So we were talking about buying Diablo. Adam's like, yeah, I'm going to buy it. And I was like, yeah, I'll buy it too. And I literally was at work and I was like, all right, I'm going to download it using the PlayStation app. I go to take a screenshot and send it to him saying, hey, here we go. And he sends me a screenshot of it on the app downloading.
That's amazing.
We hadn't talked for like 3 hours before that. So
That's great.
And then I said, make sure on your picture that you hit download to console.
Yeah, I was having issues with that. That was really weird.
Yeah.
I don't do that too, but I don't want to open up that can of worms for PlayStation because my system never updates games, even though it's in rest mode. So,
I never put mine in rest mode, so I can't complain.
But to answer your question, for overrated, same vein, Rolling Stones.
yeah, see, so like it's the same argument pretty much, but I guess we got to stop using overrated. So
okay,
a band that you don't like that everyone likes. There we go. I'll rephrase the category.
Yeah, I would say Rolling Stones.
Yeah, Rolling Stones is up there. A band that I don't like that everyone likes.
I like them a lot, by the way, Kurt.
You like Rolling Stones? What's your favorite Rolling Stones song? Is it Paint It Black?
That one.
That one's good.
Is that the name of the song?
You guys got to understand. No, it's not. You guys got to understand. I don't know. I grew up in a time just like you. What's wrong? I grew up in a time where I'm like track 7. I don't know the names of songs.
Whatever Kazaa downloaded for me.
That's
pretty much.
Dire Straits had the Brothers in Arms like cassette, and I always knew side B track 1 was Money for Nothing.
See, okay.
Like Start Me Up and Beast of Burden are probably my 2 favorites.
There you go.
Sorry.
So Start Me Up.
So I come from an era where I was still reading like the CD inserts for the lyrics and like that kind of stuff and the tape inserts. So like my first foray into like music, the first thing that I was like, wow, this is really cool was Guns N' Roses. I was like, I love Guns N' Roses. This is awesome. So like my parents had the tape and I was like, can I have this tape? And my mom was like, sure, like whatever. So I used to listen to Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction like all the time. And then I got a CD player and my stepdad got me my first 2 CDs were Skid Row, Slave to the Grind, tremendous album, and Metallica, the Ride the Lightning album, which was phenomenal. So
those
like
are your first 2 CDs?
My first 2 CDs. Those are the first 2 like music pieces that were like bought for me. Everything else was like, tapes that I listened to. Like when I was a kid, I listened to like, my parents would listen to Guns N' Roses and Bon Jovi, and my mom sings tremendously. So
I've heard it. I can back it up.
Yeah. There was a lot of like, she would sing a lot of country and western stuff, Patsy Cline, like Reba McEntire. So I'm like, I know a lot of the old country.
He also tricked me one time that she did a song for a trailer for a movie for a Marvel movie.
Yes, I did. End of the World, because she shares the same name.
Yeah,
which is so funny. But anyway,
I believed it.
My first CD was Dookie.
Green Day?
By Green Day.
Yeah, I had that album too. That was an well, I don't know if it was like an early one that I got, but I did have that one.
First one I remember.
Yeah,
I know I had like
Wait, before we move on to this, because I want to share it too. What band do you like that everybody doesn't? Did you say already?
Oh, what band that I like that everybody doesn't like?
No, other way around. Sorry.
Oh.
Finishing off the topic we were talking about.
I was
what
trying
band
to
does everybody
think.
like that you don't? Yeah.
I was trying to think like a band that everybody likes that I'm just like, it's really tough to say. I can't really think of one. Like some of the like classic like, like Led Zeppelin. I never got into Zeppelin, but like everybody loves Led Zeppelin, it seems. Like that genre, like the Rolling Stones, like I like the Rolling Stones. Like I would listen to like the Rolling Stones' greatest hits. I wouldn't listen to like one of their albums. Beatles, I fall in the same category as you, Murdock. I wouldn't necessarily call them overrated, but they're just not anything I get into. What were you holding up there? I was looking at the camera, trying to look into your soul.
I was just doing that for Kurt because I'm drinking now a Cutwater Tiki Rum Punch. And that was something that he brought over to my house one time.
That was definitely months ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm drinking.
Did you know nothing rhymes with months?
Yeah, it does.
What?
It's months.
Bunts. Yeah, I mean, there's like rapper rhymes, which like,
Bunts. It's a baseball term.
yeah,
Oh, like a
stunts.
bunt cake?
Oh, stunts. Yeah. What are
Yeah.
you talking about? Of course it does.
What about orange?
No.
Door hinge.
Door hinge,
No.
orange, door hinge.
Getting back to the first
might work.
first tape I ever got is gonna make you guys laugh is Tom Jones, because for some reason I got obsessed. I'm gonna stop using the word obsessed. I got hooked on
A feeling?
That was
Ah!
Suede.
Boston. That was Boston.
No, I got hooked on it's not unusual to have fun.
Hold on. Did you say Boston?
Yeah, Boston
Hooked
did
on a
hooked on.
feeling is blue suede.
Nope, hooked
No,
on a
it's
feeling is
Boston.
Boston.
Is it Boston?
Yep.
Yeah.
Are we thinking of two different songs?
Hooked on a feeling.
I mean, that was a terrible version of it, but
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
Bro, what? Hold on.
Now he's
No,
gonna
it's
look
blue
it up.
suede. What are you going on about?
No, it's Boston. Hooked on a
You're
feeling.
thinking of more than a feeling.
oh yeah, that's what
Oh yeah, you're right. You know what? Talk about getting lyrics wrong. Yeah, more than a feeling. You're right. More than a feeling.
you were just tying one of the topics back
But
together.
here's the thing, though: is Murdock was with me on that one.
Yeah,
Because
you're
that's
both
what it sounded
wrong.
like to me. More than a feeling.
No, hooked on a feeling.
Yeah. The totally different songs. I know
That's
what
blue
you're talking
suede.
about. Uh huh.
Jeez.
And speaking of songs, my first CD I had was I bought it from where did you used to work? Oh, sorry. What I think Mikey used to work at this CD shop back in the day, which I don't remember what
Oh, it
it's
doesn't
called.
exist anymore. It was called Coconuts.
Oh, Coconuts.
But if you called and I was there, I was the snot-nosed 17 kid who would say, "Thank you for calling Cocoa Puffs," just to fuck with people.
Well, I bought my first CD there with my own money. The Source Hip Hop Hits Volume 2.
Those flew off the shelf.
That was I still have it on. I found somebody that made a playlist on Apple Music of that CD.
Dude,
and I
so
have it on my
so it was funny. Like we had when I worked there, we had guidelines like as to what you had to put in like the security things, and they were called shucks. That was like what they were called. So there was like a price point that you had to put them into, but then it was just literally like the boss, like just being completely just
Bruce
typecasting.
Springsteen?
No, he wasn't my boss.
Tony Danza?
Yeah, Tony Danza.
He's the boss.
Hold me closer, Tony Danza.
Yeah, there you go. That's another song.
So kind of pivoting. What's like a guilty pleasure?
Like a guilty
band?
pleasure band.
Oh, this is easy for me. Right when he said that, it's gonna be something
Spice
you guys
Girls?
are gonna laugh at me too. Nope. Whitney Houston. I can jam out to the Bodyguard soundtrack, man. I'm obsessed with that movie. I really like that movie a lot. And when she sings "I'm Gonna Run to You," I could be jamming out to that. And if I like, you'd think I was like listening to some like hard song, and I'd put down like my window, and I'd be like, "I'm gonna run to you." Yeah, it's like that.
Man, I think it changes like from time to time, but I know there was one time where for some reason, I don't know why, but that Sarah Bareilles, the girl who sang like "Not Gonna Write You a Love Song," I would listen to her album all the time. I was like, "This is good driving music, homie." Like, whatever. Not gonna write you a love song.
I'm gonna write you a love song.
That's crazy because that's mine.
Yeah.
Are you so?
Dude, that's crazy. Like,
Why does this happen all the time?
So like she had that big song, and I think she had one other single on that album, but it didn't do as well. But that's just so funny because I remember like driving like from home from a wrestling show, and I was like, I don't know what to listen to. I'm like, you know what? It's nice temperature out. Roll the windows down. Listen to some Sarah Bareilles.
See, I feel like that's what it is. Like if you take a really long car ride or something, and you're like, I've done that when I've gone through podcasts, and I'm like, I don't really feel like listening to this. I put on like maybe some rap from back in the day, and I'm like, nah, it's not hitting right. And then I put on like a new metal playlist because I always throw on playlists, and I'm like, nope. And then I'm like, all right, Limp Bizkit because I always throw that on driving because it's good. And then nothing, and then it'll be something random like that. Like
Yeah.
I'll put on like Whitney Houston or My Wife's Got Me. I never thought I'd ever say this. But my wife's got me on like a run for country, which I don't listen to, and it's all new country. So like Lainey Wilson and Jelly Roll.
Okay.
I think
Like
I
Morgan Wallen, I think,
I had
is
a
another
jelly roll.
person. No, I have done a bunch of jelly rolls, and like Hardy, even though I thought he sucked,
Oh,
I've listened to a lot more of his stuff, and it's pretty good. And Bailey Zimmerman, so they're all like new country songs, but I never thought that I would like it. But like what you're saying, when you're driving, I'm like, oh, this is good, like cruising music or listen to music. Like it makes you, it's feel good music.
So like last night, for example, and maybe you do the same thing. I listened to a podcast on the ride home, and the ride home was like 2 hours and 20-ish minutes. When I left the venue, I had a little bit of one podcast to finish up, and then I was like, okay, I'll listen to another podcast because I have enough time in my drive. By the time that one got done, I was like, I have like 20-ish minutes until I get home. If I start another podcast, I'm not going to finish it, and it'll be days before I start it again because my commute to work is very short. Excuse me. It's very short. So I was like, I'm just going to listen to music. And that's when like the Sarah Bareilles Ellis comes out. Or like one of my favorites, and this isn't a guilty pleasure because it's fucking awesome, but Pop Goes Punk. Like the covers are fucking
Dude, I have
incredible.
all those. That's hilarious. You said that. I have all those
Yeah.
downloaded from my phone.
Yeah, sometimes I'll play a song and like the kids will be like, "This song, I don't like this song," and I'm just like, "I'll play the pop punk version." See,
I'll
like
tell
that
you
one.
what. When we talk Pop Goes Punk, yeah, that's what it is. Volume.
I'll tell
6.
you what, boy.
I think it's
Volume
volume
6?
6. There is Problem by Set It
Yes.
Off. Absolute
Dude,
banger.
there Problem, and there is oh, maybe it's the one after. It might be the one after, but Taylor Swift, the Trouble song. You know, I knew you were trouble. You know, yeah, blah blah blah. I think that might be on the same Punk Goes Pock out. Punk Goes Pock. Is that
Funko Pops?
No, Punk Goes
Funko
Pock.
Pop
It's when they just do Tupac songs. If that comes out on Apple Music in a few weeks, I want royalties.
Funko Pops. Funko Pops.
But Punk Goes Pop, I think it might have been Volume 6 that had that song too. But yeah, oh, such bangers. And then there was
Stitches by State Champs. I love Stitches by itself, but
that wasn't as good. But there was another song.
Oh,
There was a Lady Gaga song. Poker Face, I think, actually. There's a good
Yeah,
Poker
I Knew
Face
You Were
cover.
Trouble is by We Came as Romans.
Yes. Is that on the same one?
Roman Reign.
That's on Volume 6.
Yes.
Yeah.
Volume 6 was good.
And Blank Space, I Prevail was pretty good too.
I Prevail got huge after that.
Yes. I feel like I have listened to like Punk Goes Pop and then gone and found that band and been like, okay, I like this band. Actually, I do have a real life Punk Goes Pop story, which was kind of funny. We had gone to see Taking Back Sunday, The Starting Line, and I forget the first two other bands. I think one was like High School Reunion or something like that. Either way, the first two bands were like forgettable. But I had never heard The Starting Line up until this point. And when I got out of high school, like every month we would go to the Palladium in Worcester and see a show. And like I saw My Chemical Romance like open for the Used in Finch, which was like kind of cool. So we go to this show and I'm like, I haven't heard much from The Starting Line, but like they're touring with Taking Back Sunday, so they have to be pretty decent. So the guy's going and he's like, so this next song we're going to do, it was on the radio like every 20 minutes. And then you'd be like, I'm sick of this song. And I change the station. And guess what? It's playing on that station. And we're going to play that song next. So I'm like, oh shit, maybe I've heard these guys. Because sometimes you hear a song and you're like, oh, I like this song, but you don't know who sings it. So I'm like, oh shit, like this is going to be a song I know. They start playing I'm Real, the J-Lo song. It's J-Lo and Ja Rule.
Ja Rule.
They start doing it, and I was like, oh shit, this is on Punk Goes Pop. And then the lead singer at Taking Back Sunday runs on stage and does the Ja Rule part, and it was fucking awesome.
His voice is deep?
No, he just did it. It was fucking tremendous. But I saw them do that song, and Yellow Card did Everywhere by Michelle Branch, and I was just like, this is so fucking cool. I saw those both live.
Well, I guess did you say what your guilty pleasure was, Kurt? Oh, it's the same thing. Yeah, that's what we established.
Yeah.
What was your first concert?
I'm trying to fix my chair. Hold on.
That's okay.
I've never heard I'm trying to fix my chair. Hold on.
No.
What is
I've never heard of Hold On. Seems like that'd probably be pretty good.
Yeah, Hold On by Wilson Phillips.
So the first concert I ever went to was because I started late on concerts, but it was Taste of Chaos in Portland, and it was The Used and Disturbed, and I don't remember a couple other people. And then after that, I think I went to Killswitch Engage and a couple other ones. But that I had a late start. I just never had any interest in going to concerts because I didn't want to. For me, like I feel like music's that relaxing thing. Like I don't know how to describe it other than like it's kind of like you like video games playing those if I'm stressed out is kind of like my de-stressor.
Yeah.
But music's something that if I'm just like sitting back, I've done this a lot more when I gotten older, but like sitting back in I got like these easiest way to describe is beanbag chairs in the room that I have upstairs. But like half the time that I've been out for my hand stuff that I had surgery on, I've just been listening to like music a lot and just I can literally sit in a chair and listen to music on like my speakers, and that's relaxing for me. Just do that. I sat on our deck for like almost 6 hours listening to music by myself one day and just looking at friggin' clouds and just listening to music. And I feel like that's kind of therapeutic sometimes.
You weren't yelling at the clouds, were you?
I stared at them, but I won. They
Okay.
looked away.
Eventually, you'll be in your neighborhood long enough to be the guy who yells at them.
No, I'm going to be that guy that, if you didn't know, I have a projector. But I was going to show people that in the neighborhood. And I'm going to be that guy that has like the whole neighborhood come over to my backyard. And I'll start charging people money to come in
Like a
and watch
nightmare.
movies.
That's what's up.
Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah.
Yep. First concert though, mine changed quite a bit. So like same thing. Like I had a first concert I ever went to, freshman in college. So I was 18. I went to see Lindsay Sterling. Don't know, violinist.
What, does she play something?
She's a violinist.
Can you sing?
Yeah, but like this.
Can you sing me a bar?
What?
Can you sing me a bar of one of her
Or
songs?
does she just play violin? There's
She's
no
a
music.
violinist.
But she doesn't sing anything?
No.
'Cause, I mean, I'm looking her up on Apple Music, and she sings "Shatter Me."
That
Same person?
is not her singing, but
Oh,
it was
so
a
she
very-
just plays violin and doesn't sing.
yes. Saw her, and then like immediately 2 weeks after I saw Day to Remember. So bit of a switch.
There you
Wait,
go.
wait. So that means like just recently, or you've seen Day to Remember a bunch of times, a couple times now?
Oh god, I've seen them 4, 5 times.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what my first concert was. I think the Run DMC Kid Rock Aerosmith one might have been my first real like concert, I think. 'Cause
Pretty
I don't remember.
tremendous concert.
Yeah, I don't remember anything prior to that. But yeah, after, like, yeah, because I would have. You know what? Actually, I take that back. My first concert was Warped Tour. That was my first concert.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Warped
actually
Tour
pretty good.
2002. Fucking awesome. I remember we saw I wanted to see Something Corporate so bad, so I like got to their stage like in between, like I got there earlier than like most would be, right? Because like the other band was still like finishing up, but I wanted to be there like when they switched and got on. And the lead singer of Something Corporate like would play piano, and he got up at one point, was like stomping on the piano. It was so fucking punk rock. It was awesome. I loved it. That was I don't think that was the first band I saw that day, but I saw so many good bands. We saw Thursday there. Fucking Less Than Jake. Like, it was so good. Oh, I loved Warped Tour.
What was your
So I guess.
Oh.
Oh, go ahead.
What was your most recent concert?
My most recent concert? I haven't been to a concert in a long time. Let me think. My most recent concert would have been Limp Bizkit, but COVID. So that didn't happen.
Yeah, I was upset about that because I was going to try to go to that too.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't know if it qualifies as a concert, but we got tickets to see Recycled Percussion. That was a lot of fun. They don't really
Like Blue Man Group?
Yeah, kind of. It's kind of like that, but they do like, like a whole like it's mostly like it's kind of evolved from them just like playing on recycled like instruments to like them doing like routines and stuff like that, like dance routines and stuff. But it was very cool. Like the kids loved it. It was more like we got the tickets for free, so you know. But the
What was the
last,
weirdest thing they played?
I mean, it was all like current stuff. So there wasn't
No,
really
I mean
anything
like
weird.
on for an instrument.
Oh, I mean, they had like people hanging from the ceilings that were playing on like modified trash cans and shit like that. It was wild. So so the guys recycle percussion, like they do a ton of community stuff and they donate a bunch of money and like they do a ton of like Make-A-Wish stuff, like great people. So they built this place called The Cake in oh fuck, what town is it? I can't remember. Which actually is going to bring me to my most recent concert because it was in that same town. It was shit, I can't remember. That's gonna bother me now that I can't remember. But anyway, we went there and they have this place that's like built for like their thing. Like they've done tours on the road and stuff like that. They did what was it, America's Got Talent or whatever. And what are you guys laughing about? I'm like not looking at the screen and I look and Kurt's leaning off camera and Murdock's like
Started laughing and I just lost it.
Was I moving my hands too much? What
You're
happened?
gonna have to cut this part out. You said they played on people, and then you said they do Make-A-Wish.
I said, what? No, they do Make-A-Wish. They do like.
And then you said they played on people first, and those two things just made me think that they play on the kids after they die. And that's terrible.
I'll have to go back and listen to that. Oh man, but all right, let's take a second to compose ourselves.
But I really was gonna say, like, are the people alive? And then you were like, yeah, and then you make a wish. And I was like, okay, I'm not gonna ask that question anymore.
Okay. Anyway, they would do touring stuff, and they
hold on.
They built this whole like place based around like their show, so they can do it like how they want. So yeah, that's it. But my last concert before them, I took my wife to see Tucker Bethard, which was a really good concert. He's kind of country-ish, rockish.
Is that how you named your dog?
Surprisingly, yes, actually. And I said to Rihanna,
"Is that real?
For real?"
Really?
She was like, she was listening to Tucker Bethard, and then we were getting the dog, and she was like, "We should name him Tucker. I like that name, like for a dog." And it wasn't like, oh, Tucker Bethard inspired me to like name my dog Tucker, but it like brought it up, you know. So I kept saying during the concert, I'm like, in between the song, like, do you want me to tell him we named our dog after him? Like, do you think he'd like that? Because there was not a lot of people there, which I don't know why, but there was probably like 25 people there, and he was like kind of big at the time. But maybe it was just the town. I don't know. But it was really weird. So we were like right up by the stage and he was just playing like whatever for us. Like it was cool. It was very intimate and he enjoyed it, you know, according to what he said at least. But I kept saying, like, do you want me to tell him that we named our dog after him? Like, I can tell him that. It's quiet in between songs.
Is it like country music?
Yeah. It's like country but rockish. Like I guess he had like some issue with his label, and I could be misspeaking a little bit, but there was some issue with his label where they wanted him to be less rock and more country, and he was like, not gonna do that, so I'm out, and just like left, like dipped out of his contract and was like, whatever, I'll just do independent shit, and then release some music independently. I don't know if I think he's on Apple Music.
Yeah, he is. I just looked him up. That's why I was asking. He looks like a country singer.
Yeah, but he was really good, man. Like really.
Yeah, I like
really
people that
good.
do that though, because he didn't change his image or anything because they wanted him to do it, which a lot of bands and people will do that, and then it'll either go two ways: either it'll take off, or people won't like it, and then they'll drop him. So.
Yeah, and like the cool thing was like he has I don't know the name of the song. It might not even be on here. Oh yeah, 2010 Tennessee. He's like telling the story about like this game, and it's just like a good storytelling like country song, but it's a little rockish. But that was a lot of fun, and until I remembered that, I thought it was Miranda Lambert, which was also another country artist, but that one was phenomenal. She did a great job.
See, I've been trying to check off the boxes for bands and like artists my wife wanted to see because she didn't get to go to a lot of concerts like growing up. So I was trying to hit like all like the what are like 5 bands or artists you'd want to see. So um I'll just go over them and then say what like the most recent one was. But like I got to bring her to Elton John, which was amazing for me
Oh, that's
because
cool.
seeing him play like the piano, they put the camera on his hands and you get to see up close him playing the piano, which is just like I think that was the only time I've ever gone to a concert and been in like awe of something because for the guy being how old he is and everything and just watching that and like he didn't stop playing. He just played over and over again. And that's like to me, that's like very respectable because one, he's older, but two, like it's the piano. It's not like you're playing not saying that guitar is not hard to play and things like that, but like I would get probably tired as hell playing the
Yeah.
piano and singing. He like played straight through. I think I heard every single hit that he ever had. So that was really cool. I took her to Aerosmith. And then recently, the most recent concert we went to was Stevie Nicks, which I don't know if you guys know Stevie Nicks a lot. Obviously, Fleetwood Mac is
Yep.
a big thing that a lot of people know. That's the best concert I've ever been to.
Really?
Ever.
Wow.
Because to me, a big thing is like if you go to a concert to hear somebody, you hope they sound as good as you heard them like
Yeah.
listening to them. And I've been to some concerts where I've been like, that guy does not, or that girl does not sound like they did. So there's a lot of studio like influence and editing that happens to make them sound like that. She like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what it is, or like when you get that, I'm sure like Kurt could say too, if you get to go to somebody you really like, because I don't remember who I think you saw Paul McCartney and that's the same type of stuff, but like you just get a really good feeling or like you like take in the moment of something and it was cool to hear her talk about like people she sang with and unfortunately people like she's lost over the years for her music and that was just cool to hear her do that. She talked about Ukraine because she had a person send her like something of art from Ukraine right before they had all the stuff happen with that, so she like was trying to find out if that person was still alive through everything that happened. So I don't know, just it was cool for her because she's one of those people that just talks to the audience and then sings.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's awesome. And she like said how much she loved being in Maine, where I live, and things like that. So that was the coolest concert I've been to. I am trying to go to concerts this year, but they're just all really overly expensive, I feel like. So
Yes. So to that
I'm going to
point,
Metallica in the summer, by the way, which will be awesome for 2 days, which
I
is the only
almost
band I've ever wanted to see. So
I almost got tickets to that and then didn't. I'm sure they're still available, but I wanted to go see Metallica. But to your point about the concert, like Miranda Lambert, like I had heard a few of her songs, right? My wife was like really into her, so I got her tickets for her birthday. And my whole time that I'm there, I'm like, or the whole time that I'm driving there, like in my mind, I'm like, okay, this is gonna be like not fun for me, but she's gonna enjoy it, so I gotta like be there, and like I'm probably gonna be just like, yeah, this is cool, babe. Like, how much time's left? But in reality, she blew it out of the water. So there's a couple things that I look at for a concert. So one, to your point, how do they sound? Is there like a backing track? Do they like have like overly produced sound when you're listening to them? Do they have like 5,000 backup singers? And like, do they not sing all the lyrics? So the the other thing, so Miranda Lambert blew it away with that. She was very, very good. Um, like sounded just like the records pretty much. Like, but she would also talk to the people too, which was awesome. The other thing is the pacing, right? So like it brings you up and then down and then up. It's like not just like playing songs just to play songs. Like there was a purpose for it. And like when she played like I forget what song, but like she played like a slower song, and all the members of the band, like, because there was no drum track for this one, all the members of the band just like got closer, and so they all were like kind of around like one microphone, just playing like their instruments, and she was singing. It was so fucking cool. Great band.
I think that's what you just said is key is the pacing because they could play like all their hits in a row and then you're kind of like, oh, that kind of sucks that they
Yeah,
just played like the 3 songs or 5 songs or 10 songs in a row. And it's always good that they keep one for like later on at the end for the encore,
yeah.
if that's the case. But yeah, Kurt, what was your most recent concert?
It was like 2-3 weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
I guess when we talk about, like, if we're talking last few, year ago, almost like a year and a week ago, exactly, did see Paul McCartney. Probably one of the best concerts I've ever seen. Then Day to Remember again. Like I said, saw them a bunch live.
Did you
Most recent though was Logic. That was pretty.
Oh yeah, Logic's pretty good.
Yeah, not really knowing much of his stuff. But it was like super like intimate, like it was a 2,000 seat venue. So pretty small. And then the opener was Juicy J from 3-6 Mafia.
That's what's up.
And I felt so out of my element because I'm a white boy.
So rap music concerts are tricky, right? Because I feel like there's always a backing track, or there's like too many people where the rapper is always like saying like 3 lines or like 3 words to the line, and then someone else is like finishing it. Was Logic like that?
Kind of. He talked with the crowd a lot and like tried to get people to sing, so he did that a lot. But there was a lot of like backing vocals that were just like he was playing his music. And I wish I had asked this question in like 2 weeks because I have another concert coming up in like 10 days. So.
Oh, really? Who are you maybe going to see?
I
have another concert in 10 days, and then I'm not going to talk about it.
Yeah. No, I'm going to go see Ed Sheeran, which I'm pretty excited about.
Is it Sheeran or Shireen?
Or Sharon.
Sheeran?
Sheeran.
Sharan? Shawak?
And she
ran
so far away.
Didn't you own one of his? This Flock of Seagulls. Did you own one of his guitars?
I have one of his guitars. Yeah.
Can you play it for us?
Wow.
No. It's. I don't even know where it is. It's in a case way in the corner over there. But yeah, I got a Sheeran signature.
But is it so? Just to clarify, is it his guitar, or it's like the guitar that he physically played, or it's the same exact guitar that he does play?
No,
but it's just like a replica.
So he has a partnership with Loading Guitars out of the UK. And he has a signature line. So he got a limited edition like Equals guitar when that album came out. They were limited to 250 and I bought one of them. So
that's
played it once. Only played it once, and I'm not going to take it out of its case.
What'd you play?
Yeah, what song did you play?
Oh, I literally just tuned it. That's all I played it. Like it has not been touched. And if it wasn't in the opposite end of the room, I would grab it. All I have near me is a Captain America shield.
Can you play that?
Master Sword and a Hylian shield. That's all I got near me.
I have a guitar near me, but I don't know anything on it.
You usually know like the beginning of songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like the beginning.
I'm jealous kind of both of you because that's something that I've always wanted to do is play guitar, but it looks weird because it's blocking out whatever you're doing. So it looks like it's not supposed to be on the camera.
We don't have a Master Sword sponsorship.
Yeah, no, we don't.
Oh.
So Murdock, to your point, right?
Zelda. He's holding up a Zelda sword, I think. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I think
for the audio listeners.
Yes. To your point with the music, with the guitar thing, right? Like being jealous, right? So I wanted a guitar like when I was a kid. Like, and my parents like couldn't really afford one, so they got me like this one that was more or less a toy, but it was like a step up from a toy because it had strings and like you could kind of play it. And one of the guys who lived in the same apartment like building that we did like could play, and he was like, "Oh yeah, like I'll teach you how to play." And was like, I showed him this guitar and he's like, "This might work." He's like, "But just figure out where to put your hands and it's just not going to sound good. But then when you play this, like on a real guitar, like you'll know where to put your hands." So like I tried to like learn it and I was like, "This sucks. This is stupid." And just gave up because I was like, it's not producing anything because this guitar literally like you strum it and you're like, it makes no noise because it's a fucking toy. So then like I just randomly one day was like, man, like I'm going to buy a fucking guitar. Like I make my own money. I can do that. So I did. And then I just like goofed off on YouTube to learn how to play some like of it. And I know a few chords and like a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And it's fun. That's a therapeutic thing. Yeah, here's Wonderwall. Exactly. I can do Wonderwall.
And then I had him play for me one time. And I said the wrong thing. I meant to say like, oh, it's just like you only know like the beginning of the song, but the way it came off was he played it for me, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. That's all you know.
Yeah. Yes.
Which I didn't realize what I said was insulting. But now that when I say it again, I'm like, yeah, that's all you know. Nice work, idiot. Something like that.
How many guitars do you have?
One.
Oh.
Yeah, just one. So what's funny too is like I got it, and at first when I first got it was new to me, right? So I'm playing and I'm like trying to like learn it and like all that, and then like as time went on, like I kind of it kind of faded a little bit. Like I still pick it up and like mess around every now and then, like try to learn stuff. But my wife for Christmas got me a gift card to Guitar Center, and I still haven't used it, and I've had that for like almost 2 years.
Sounds like you need an upgrade.
I wanted to get an electric guitar, and I never pulled the trigger. I actually went to Guitar Center, and there was, funny story, there was a which is topical. Guitar. It's gonna be topical to like what happens in our podcast, right? Except for this episode. But I was looking at the used guitars, and I was like, oh, these aren't too bad. But I had to pee like really, really bad. I was like, I gotta pee. And my wife was in Trader Joe's or like the grocery store, whatever it was that was like in the area. And I'm kind of like looking around. I didn't want to ask anybody like where the bathroom was, but I couldn't find it. So I just left and went to like Trader Joe's and used the bathroom. Yeah. And so then I didn't. But there was a cool looking guitar. It was like a Jackson electric guitar, but it was like kind of like, it looked like wood. And I was like, this is a cool guitar. And it was shaped cool. And I was like, this would be neat. And then, I was like, I gotta pee though. Where do I go? And I left.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have too many guitars. That's the opposite. That's my problem.
See, that's cool though. You want to sell any guitars? I'll give you. Do you take Guitar Center gift cards?
like same kind of thing with you. Like I had a really small like learner guitar, and then I bought a giant like acoustic, and then I bought another acoustic, and then I bought an electric, and then I bought 2 more acoustics. So I have like literally in arm shot of me 6-7 guitars.
See, I have one guitar, and I spent too much on it because the guy oversold me, which is great. Like whatever, he did his job. I didn't feel like I was oversold until like 2 months later when I'm like, I don't really need, because it's an acoustic electric. I was like, I don't really need that.
But is it a Martin?
No, it's a Cort. So it's like a cheaper acoustic electric. It was like $200. I think I paid $220 for it.
I'm not gonna get into how much I've paid for guitars.
Yeah, I'm sure. You said Martin. Like, I'm sure you've paid a lot for guitars. Like Martin and Taylor are like the two like high-end acoustics, right?
Yeah, I mean, I have a small Martin that I paid like $500 for, and I have an SG for an electric, which I like it, but I never play. But I don't know. I had to stop myself from buying them because I was like, I just want to buy all these and hang them on my wall, and I'm like, I never play them.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I'm like, and that's why I haven't pulled the trigger on electric, even though I have a gift card that would cover like 50% of it at least, depending on what.
Speaking of pulling the trigger, we should pull the trigger and end this episode because I think we were going over.
Well, you didn't ask me what guitars I own.
Yeah, Murdock, what guitars do you own?
I own a Neversoft guitar.
Is that the one
Guitar
that
Hero?
goes with Guitar Hero? Yeah. Does it have buttons?
It is. It's made by Neversoft, and it has buttons on it instead of strings.
Hard.
It lets me play a lot. It like tells me like, hey, play this color and this color and this color. So
yeah,
all my money's tied up in belts behind me. So
yeah,
they hold my pants up.
Aren't they supposed to be called championships though?
They're called straps and championships and belts and gold.
So, like, legit though, we stayed on like the same realm of topics a whole episode. Like, that's kind of crazy.
We were on point.
And a lot of it's really just music, which is cool. So if you want to talk about like your concert that you went to, or the band you think is over, well, no, I said the band you don't like that everyone else likes, or any other things, make sure you hit us up on Twitter at DMN. That's podcast, and let us know, or send us a message on Facebook because we're on there too. let us know about it.
Yeah, I'll put the Twitter thing like here-ish. Like,
oh, I was gonna point on video, but I didn't want to make your editing crazy. But
yeah, no,
please hit us up. Let us
it'll
know.
be on the screen. Yeah,
we gotta do more reels and stuff like that, like videos. So then people, because I threw a reel on Facebook and like 5 people commented on it.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, we got to do more of that stuff.
Yeah, I think that's more about like, hopefully the part that gets cut out of this is not a reel. But
it's staying in. It's staying in. We're not cutting it out. We're not cutting it out. That was too funny because I got to listen back to it and see if I really said that way. Because if not, it was.
No, I think it was just like the timing.
Yeah,
I think
that's funny. Anyway, thank you guys for listening. I don't think we thank the listeners enough. Like, there are people that consistently have listened to the show and given feedback, and we really appreciate it. I hope that you guys like that we did like kind of one genre of topics, I guess, and maybe we'll do more of that in the future. We didn't really plan that. It just kind of happened organically, and that's pretty cool. But I think we're gonna sign off and go play Diablo.
Yeah, bro.
Diablo.
Yeah, bro.
We're Diabros. Peace.
Well, yeah. Peace.
My sneeze is back.